Hello and welcome back. I'm Bio, and today we're looking at more anime games, or in this case, we're looking at Sakigake Otokojuku games. Yeah, what a name, right? The name translates as similarly to Charge Men's School, or something like that. So it's a series based around a school called Otokojuku, which is a private school for juvenile delinquents that were previously expelled from normal schools. At this school, Japanese chivalry is taught through feudal and military fundamentals. Similar to an action film, the classes are overwhelmed by violence. Only those who survive it become true men. Which means that insinuates that people die at this school, and they do. I've not watched the entire series. I started watching the series. It's only 34 episodes, and I kind of gave up around episode 21 because it really did drag. The comedy's really stale and really dated, and the animation's not great, but that's not, again, this is 1988 Toei animation, so it was kind of expected. But yeah, I can sit through Saint Seiya with no issues. So yeah, I thought it was series was okay, but I didn't really think much else. I didn't really think much else of it besides that. It was okay. That was really it. But I just dropped it at episode 21 because it felt like it was dragging at that point. But it had quite a successful manga series. It ran for 34 volumes in the Weekly Shonen Jump, and it also had a few other spin-off series. It had a prequel, and it also had a sequel in Super Jump. So, yeah, it must have been popular enough to get that, but not popular enough as an anime, I'm guessing. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's Sakigake Otokojuku. It's interesting, but at the same time, it gets stale really quickly. It has kind of a blandness to it. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Main character's like the only character that's interesting. The rest of the characters are just like filler characters, just there to be there, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Anyway, so that's Sakigake Otokojuku. I hope I've given you a little bit of an insight of it. And now we're going to move on to the games. And obviously, I'm just going to talk about the games of what they're like being games. So let's jump right in. Now, the first game I'm going to be talking about was for the original Famicom, and that was the Sakigake Otokojuku Shippu Ichigosei, developed by Toze. Yeah, so the game is a 2D scrolling beat 'em up where you can play as multiple characters from the Sakigake Otokojuku series. So you can play as Momo. He's the only character I know by name, really, besides Jay. So you can play as Momo Tsurugi, I believe his name is. You can also play as his friend who uses the knife. You can obviously play as Jay, and you can also play as the guy, the mountain man guy, which I can't remember his name. The guy with the knife's pretty cool. I always seem to forget their names when I need to know them. But the guy, I think it's only natural. There's no point in me. I could look up their names, but then I think to myself, well, no, if I don't remember their names, I don't remember their names. So the guy with the knife is pretty good. He has quite a long-range attack. But each of the characters have a life system, so once they run out of HP, they basically die. I'm not even joking. Pretty sure that's what happens. They die. And you have to pick another character. So you got to go through the whole entire game with 4 characters to pick from. And you have little bosses along the way, like you just saw there. And yeah, if I be completely honest, I'm very surprised because this is more competent. This is a more competent game than what we got from like the Dragon Ball series when they first started releasing games for like the Famicom and that. It's really surprising how competent this game is. It's just a lot of fun. It's a blast. It's not too bad. I definitely recommend you give this game a go. It's actually pretty good. I enjoy it. I am immensely confused. What is up with these somewhat decent anime video games? I don't get it. So the next game is I'm not even going to pronounce the title. I'm just going to go with the subtitle. It's Meikoshima Kessen. So and it's for the original Game Boy, as you can tell. It is a okay fighting game. I'm not even joking. It's actually not too bad. You can go around and just use your sword to attack people. I'm playing as Momo and attacking some kind of, I don't know, mummy guy. He looks like he got a pharaoh kind of guy. I don't even know who this character is. If he appeared in the anime, I didn't get that far. And yeah, it actually plays okay, you kind of feel like you kind of have to kind of cheese it a little bit. As you can see, you're probably thinking, oh, that's what I'm doing now. Well, yeah, because there isn't really much combos you can do, and the combos are somewhat hard to perform. It doesn't help when you have enemies, though, like this guy, who just blows bubbles at you. I'm not even joking. He there we go, blowing bubbles at you, and they hurt you, or whatever he's doing. I don't know. But yeah, you know, if I compare this to like some of the other, I don't know, Game Boy fighting games, you got like Mortal Kombat, which is not great. You've got Battle Arena Toshinden that I've played, and that wasn't very good either. So I'm surprised. You know, in terms of graphics, it looks similar to that of, I don't know, the Yu Yu Hakusho Game Boy games. This one's also developed by this is developed by Yutaka, which possibly could be the developers for the Yu Yu Hakusho games, because very similar art style. But yeah, it's not too bad of a game. I'd say give it a go. It's not bad. Okay. Next up is Sakigake Otokojuku for the PlayStation 2, and I'm literally mean that's just what the title is. It's just that. It's a 3D fighting game, and if I be completely honest, I'm pleasantly surprised once again. This is a pretty competent 3D fighting game. I actually really enjoy this. Once again, it plays fairly well. You know, you can pull off lots of different combos if you mix up your button prompts. You know, you press circle, triangle, circle, and there's different button combinations you can pull off. Each character also has a super move that they can pull off, so you've got to kind of like raise, I don't know, your Ura or whatever that meter is at the bottom there, and when you fill it once, you can then, boom, pull off a special move. I guess how far you pull it off. So you can, it's really strange, the special meter, because you can actually raise it pretty high, so that means you could pull off quite a lot of different special moves, one after the other, I guess, in that regard. But it also requires you to fill up one of the bars if you want to switch character while in the battle. So yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know what else to say really about it. It plays pretty well, if I be completely honest. I had a fun old blast playing through it. I also did a specials video on the main channel for this game because no one had done it before, so I thought that was a bit strange. But let me give you some facts about this game, right? This game was developed and published by D3 Publisher, as far as I know. I've tried looking to see what other developer, you know, if there is a developer marked on it, but unfortunately it only shows up as D3 Publisher. So who knows? Who knows who else developed it? And also it was a part of this Simple 2000 series Ultimate, the Simple Ultimate 2000 series, as Volume 34. Now, you probably think, oh, why didn't you include it in that video? Well, no, I don't want to cover all of the Japanese-only Ultimate games. I was only going to cover a couple of them. And the anime ones, I'd rather try and sit with this. There is one exception. There is a Sakigake Otokojuku dodgeball game, which I am saving for the Simple 2000 character series. But that's the only exception, really. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this game. It's got a lot of interesting things. Like this stage, for example, has spikes that come up every now and then. So you gotta, there is like a lightning. You hear the lightning sound. You're like, oh, the spikes are coming. You better jump high, and so it adds a little bit of diversity to the stages. So that's pretty cool. There's also a lot of playable characters for this game, and I mean a lot. You know, and they all have their own unique styles and have how they play and whatnot. So unique movesets. It's just interesting to think like this was obviously made with a budget in mind, and yet it succeeds in being fairly decent. I'm really surprised. But yeah, so that was Sakigake Otokojuku for the PS2. Again, another one I'd say definitely give it a go. Pick it up and give it a go. It's definitely worth having at least a go on. And here we have the final game. The final Sakigake Otokojuku game, released exclusively for the PlayStation 3 and exclusively in Japan, as all Sakigake Otokojuku games were, Nihon yo kore ga Otoko deru. Which, yeah, I don't know what it translates as, but, so yeah, this is a new Sakigake Otokojuku game for the PlayStation 3. How strange. I can't wrap my head around this. why a game, why they decided, considering how long it had been since the last game, even though the last one was a budget exclusive for the PlayStation 2, why would they make another one, and why would they make it look so horrible? Just look at these graphics. I can kind of understand the style they're going for here, but it really kind of just looks gross. Really gross. Now, I wouldn't recommend anyone playing this game because, one, you've got to physically own it. Unless you can get it to work in the PS3 emulator, then fair enough if you can. But I own a physical copy of this game that I happened to buy on the cheap. I saw it on eBay for like 15 quid, and I thought, oh, I'll snatch that up. And that was a brand new copy, by the way. So I thought, oh, I'll snatch that up, and then at some point in the future, I'll get to having a go at it. How does it play? Plays pretty well. It's a pretty decent 3D fighting game. It's, you know, you have all the combos you kind of expect. The arenas could do with a little bit more. You got these pillars, and if you break these pillars, these items come out like a key. I don't know what they're really supposed to be for. Maybe they unlock something later on. I don't know. But I love the blood, like all the blood splurting out on that. It's super ultra violent. It's really cool. The health bars are a bit strange. You got these candles, but it's a staple of the series. These candles, again, I don't really know because where I got in the anime didn't really introduce these candles yet. So basically, the candles are your health, and they deplete. When they deplete, they deplete, and obviously when the flame is close to glowing out, or does go out, like in this case, when it does go out, your character or your opponent character stagger, and it allows you to then to pull off a special move, or you can just beat the absolute living hell out of him and cut off even more of his life. When the candle is completely destroyed, you win and your enemy's defeated. So yeah, it's like I said, it's not too bad. The combos are pretty good. You know, I thought I was having trouble with the knife guy for a second, but after I actually got used to how his control scheme works, it wasn't too bad. By far the easiest character to use is Momo, I think. But then again, I didn't really play as many characters because I didn't get too far in the story. I only played it for about half an hour or so. But yeah. It also has specials in this game, as you can see. The specials are pretty cool. There is a video of all the specials on YouTube. So if you're interested in having a look, just have a look if you're interested. There is one more thing I want to take note of in the game. There are these weird kind of like bonus quick time event based things. There's one which I don't really want to show, but you can see on my on the original video on my Bio in the Shadow Realm channel. Which was interesting, but there is also some other ones like, for example, there's a quiz, and there's like where a character's sitting in a pot of oil. I know, it's a bit strange. You just look at some Sakigake Otokojuku clips on YouTube and you'll get a kind of a vibe of what this series is like, but don't get too hyped because that's pretty much the only highlights of the series. So that's Sakigake Otokojuku for the PlayStation 3, and that's it. Yeah. So that's all of the Sakigake Otokojuku games. Every single one except for the dodgeball game, which I will play at a later date as part of the Simple 2000 Character Series video. I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. You gotta think some of the games that I've played in the past, anime-based games, I was pleasantly surprised. Every single one of these games is highly playable. The dodgeball game is probably the exception because it's a dodgeball game. But you never know. You never know. I gotta admit, I really kind of wish that they kind of re-release the Sakigake Otokojuku PlayStation 3 game in English. Imagine if they like remastered it. You know, the graphics aren't great anyway, but there's just a little bit of extra polish on the game. It was developed by Natsumi Atari, which is interesting. If you don't know, it's just like a South American studio, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% on that. Don't quote me on that. Probably look it up for yourself if you're interested. It's just vaguely off my memory. But it would be really cool if the game got a re-release or something, or a remaster, just where I just upscale the graphics, or just polish up the graphics slightly, and release it in English. I think people would find it actually kind of interesting to have a look at a game like this for a series that most people have never probably even heard of. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've had an interesting. Thought this was interesting to have a look at these games. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about these games. Let me know what you think of the video. Yeah, I've been Bio. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.